Worst nostalgia trip ever taken. Worst nostalgia trip ever taken.
Welcome. You've been waiting a long time for this, and I know you have. We've been waiting for you as well. That's right, we're talking about Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, you know, the sequel to Left 4 Dead, a Valve's 2009 shooter where you play as one of the 4 survivors.
To be honest, I hate that they called this Left 4 Dead, just because, like, there's other titles that could have fit this movie better than that. You could have made, like, honestly, so the movie we're talking about is going to have a thing about is convicts this time around. So, like, you could have done something with that. You could have said Death Row or anything to do with convicts. Left 4 Dead doesn't... I mean, I guess it makes sense for the things that happen in the movie, but, like, you just could have done... In my opinion, you could have done better. Especially because, like, Left 4 Dead... Because the second one is Dead End. So you think the third one would also be some kind of pun to do with driving, or again, something to do with convicts, but apparently not.
Yeah, especially, well, they definitely did it because the original Left 4 Dead came out in 2008, this came out in 2009, so it's clearly they're trying to perk off that name.
Yeah, so yeah, this is 2 years after, Wrong Turn 2 there. This is also another just direct-to-video. Much like the second movie, it didn't have a theatrical release. It was just, here's the TV or DVD, whatever. Wrong Turn 3. The only real big things to mention with this one are Three Finger and Three Toe are back. Past that, the other actors... I couldn't tell you. It's not like 2 where there's anybody with an actual name. These are just a lot of... They're actors, they do stuff, but they're just not... They're nobody you've seen in anything major. It's not like a Henry Rollins or people that were in, like, The Hills Have Eyes or anything like that. This is just a bunch of random people. Gotta drink that up so I can stay nice and strong out here on the road.
Yeah, and it definitely... Right before we started the episode, Jared said, last of the good wrong turns, which is saying something, because this is not a very good wrong turn.
So I just want to mention here, our director is Declan O'Brien. So Declan, my fucking god.
Declan.
This man did this movie, Wrong Turn 4, Wrong Turn 5.
Oh, no.
I don't know who did 6. Haven't gotten to that one yet, but we'll get there when we get there and when we end out the originals. He also did Monster Arc that I remember from the Sci-Fi Channel. Which was
good.
Noah's Ark, but the other Ark that Noah had.
Yeah, because you know. No, well known for his 2 arcs.
Yes, he had a secret arc that no one knew about that held a monster. I've seen Monster Arc. It's also not a very good movie. He also did Joyride 3.
Oh, no.
Yeah, dude does not have a great track record of movies.
That's a movie right there.
Yeah, see, the first Joyride I want to cover on this show at some point, because the first movie...
Rustic Nail.
The first movie holds a special place in my heart. It was the first time it was the first time I'd ever seen Paul Walker. But secondly, it was just, I enjoy that movie for what it is. I haven't seen the sequels, so maybe I'll cover 2 and 3 on here as well, and I'll see those for the first time, like I'm doing with a couple other movies. Much like At the time you're watching this, we've already covered Once Bitten, me and Paul, and I had never seen it till covering it for that episode. And if you watch the episode, I have a lot of fucking thoughts on that movie, much like today. So, yeah, let's just get into it. So the main thing I have as a takeaway going into this movie, this is not about a bunch of hillbillies. This is literally just Three Fingers Revenge as a movie.
Which, I mean, this is basically the Don't Breathe 2 of the Wrong Turn franchise.
Yeah.
Where they have the villain from the previous movie be the hero. He's really the hero of this one.
For real, it's such a twist.
They kill, spoilers for what we're about to talk about, but they kill his son brother.
Oh, we'll get to that. Don't you worry.
And he's basically taking out the rest of the movie as vengeance for this.
Yeah. So our cast of characters, I'm just going to call them by their character name, which is Brandon, Floyd, Chavez, Nate, Alex, Crawford, Sophie, Walter, Deputy Lane, Willie, Brent, Preslow, and Trey. And some of those die in the beginning, so I don't fucking care to explain to you who each one is, because it really doesn't matter. Because guess what? Everyone, literally everyone, except the final girl fucking dies in this movie. So who gives a shit? So we open. This movie opens with couples that are off. They're doing like whitewater rafting. And they're enjoying their time out in the wilderness. They're going to go camping, having a great time. We've all been there. Maybe not all of us, but some of us have been there. I mean, I've done canoe rides down the river as a kid, and then we'd go camping after. So, I mean, I have done that at least. I haven't done whitewater, but I've done...
Look, I've been in a canoe one time. I almost flipped over too many times. I've never been in a canoe since.
Boy, I grew up country bugger. I've been swimming. I've been on a canoe. I've been on a boat. I've been fishing, camping, hunting.
My people were meant to just crawl in the sand.
Fun little history for Jokeypants. One of the first times I ever hung out with Sergeant Redacted, which you'll know that if you watch What an Oddcast, go check that show out. No. No, so Sergeant Redacted, he wanted to come over, and my stepdad made it very clear he had to help us clean a deer, because it was deer season. I didn't know Sergeant Redacted had a blood thing growing up. I've never seen someone turn that many shades of white and then have to run outside to puke after seeing a deer hanging upside down with its skin missing. Never seen that. And that was a new experience for me. He's since gotten better, but as when we were growing up, he did not take country life well. So but yeah, so couples out, they're canoeing, they're doing their thing, they're going down this river, they're going to their camping spot. But of course, they're not alone, because this is Wrong Turn.
Had this be West Virginia.
Yeah, you're never alone in these woods. Yeah, so they park up their canoes. They make like a campfire. They're doing their thing. One of the friends goes off to get more camp wood, which leaves the women and the one boyfriend alone. But then we get titties. Just
hell yeah!
Starting
it's an early the late 2000s horror movies. Therefore, we're getting titties.
Yeah, at this time, everything was really going into that trend of
Friday the 13th remake came out in 2009, so that was a
sex sells.
Also oh yeah. And boy did my boy in mind 2009 stuff really enjoy these movies.
Friday the 13th remake, them are some good titties, all right? I don't give a shit who you are on the other side of the screen. Those are good titties to be looking at, all right?
Friday the 13th remake is one of the best Friday the 13th movies. I'll fight anyone.
Yeah, we'll see how they just released. They've started filming Camp Crystal Lake. We'll see how that goes. I have little faith. Anyway, so while they're doing this camping, the boyfriend and topless girlfriend get some alone time, and he thinks he's gonna get lucky. This made me laugh so hard when I first saw it, because he goes to put his hand on her titty, and he's all like, "Oh yeah, that's nice," and she gets an arrow just straight through the chest, through the titty, through his hand, and it's just the, oh my god!
Look, I have said there are ways to die that St. Peter would high-five you. That is one of them.
Touching titties. Touches some titties. You're good. So yeah, she takes an arrow to the chest. He gets one to the head. He pulls his hand off, and then she tries to ask him for help, but then, like a shitty boyfriend, he does nothing. And she gets another arrow straight to the face. And it comes out her eye through the back of her head. She's dead. And yeah, so yeah, the three finger, he's gonna murder all them. He just found his next meal. So, God. So I just have it written down of how these all go here. So she gets shot twice. One of the other guys, the first guy goes running off. So he ends up tripping off a razor wire trap. Three Finger just has traps set up in the woods in this movie that we have not seen in the first two. Like, these are traps that I have not seen them use yet.
Well, I mean, he did have both of his brothers get murdered.
Yeah, so this movie has a lot setting it up here. He's watched his whole family get murdered twice.
Yeah, this poor man.
Twice. Three Finger just has... he has bad luck trying to have a family. The first movie, they all got blown up. The second movie, they got thrown into a meat grinder and blown up. So like...
Hopefully he doesn't have any family this time.
Oh, and he got shot in the second one. First one, he was burned. Second one, he got shot. So yeah, that guy, he like runs down a ravine and he trips off a tripwire and it pulls out this like piano wire attached to like some tree limbs that cuts him in threes. The practical effect use of the body on the ground, I'm like, that's cool. Don't like the CGI him getting cut though, because it looks really bad. When he's laying on the ground in parts, I'm like, yeah, that looks believable enough. That's some pretty good effect. What the fuck happened 2 seconds before that you had to use CGI? You clearly had a dummy that got cut into threes. What the fuck happened?
I'm sure it's one of those, oh, we'll use CGI enhancements like in the 2010 thing.
It doesn't look good.
2011 thing.
Yeah,
no, it does not.
B movies like this, whenever they use CGI in any degree, it never looks right. But there's the last guy, and he gets chased down, and Three Finger has he has like a javelin metal spike for some reason. I don't know what fucking trap he was making, but he just has a giant metal spike that he grabs, and he just sticks him right through the mouth. Just and that's your opening, and then it cuts to Wrong Turn 3, Left 4 Dead, and we cut over to what our real movie's about, which is a prison and a bunch of convicts who are getting transferred. Because movie got a movie.
Because we need to be able to kill all these people without feeling bad.
I mean, yeah, they plan on it. There's some pretty rough deaths in this movie. So our officers...
Wait, Jared, you're missing something. Was Three Finger alone?
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, they do show that Three Toes now grown up, which means that this movie has a time jump. Much like the second one, they don't clarify how fucking long it's been.
No longer babies. Splooge has grown up.
So there's something else in this movie that comes up. There's a scene we will get to later that references a scene from the first Wrong Turn movie. And when we get to it, I want to call so much horse shit on this fucking movie. Because it's now saying the third one, you know, places it after the first and second. My problem with that is that Baby Splooge was in the second movie. We got introduced to him, and he was just a tiny little fucking infant.
Mm-hmm.
This is the next movie, and he's like 15 years old. So there's a detail in here later where I'm just like, that isn't how that would look. That doesn't make sense. So anyway, we meet the officers, and they end up just having a conversation about. Sorry, I got my notes here. Where'd it go? Yes. Officers learn that they're transporting a high-value target convict. So it's like, hey, we're gonna need all hands on deck. We have this guy that he's wanted for blah blah blah, and we need to transfer him, but he's like high priority, so we got to just make sure we're on top of our shit. Another guy talking about how he's gonna be transferring out and getting a better job, and then they give him shit for that. So yeah, it's an extra special transfer, and none of them are happy about it. So, cut to all these fucking convicts. They're all making their own plans, because essentially Chavez and one of the other guys, again, I didn't remember their names because they all fucking die, so it does not matter. I just remember Chavez because Chavez is it's a name that sticks out. But he's the high value person. He's the one that they're supposed to be transferring. He's making deals with some other inmates of, hey, while we're in the middle of this transfer, the bus is gonna get hit and it's gonna get hijacked, blah, blah. We're all gonna escape. Are you on board or not? And they start making deals. Everybody gets on bus. Everybody heads out to transfer. Don't bother thinking about how they go from one place to the other, because the location of this movie, like, it hurts your brain if you really think about it.
They're given a secret map, so only they know the route.
Yeah. Which they do stop at the local ranger station, which this is where we learn that the young couples from the beginning of this movie have been reported as missing. And they're trying to, and we get the Rangers talking about like, yeah, you know, we'll get somebody tomorrow in the morning, blah, blah, blah. Bus stops because the cop that was talking about he's going to be getting a different job and better, whatever. He's a local boy. Like, he grew up in this area. So he knows the Rangers. They stop at the Ranger station, and for him, it's literally a check in with them in case something happens. They're the only ones who are going to back us up, so we just need to make sure we're all on the same page. Which is probably one of the only cases in this movie where a cop makes a smart decision. Because there's choices later where you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I also want to talk about, I'll mention, when they stop at the Ranger station to discuss this with the Rangers, they take every convict and put them in like the smallest cell imaginable, and they just have to wait. Like, they're literally packed in like sardines.
Might be the most realistic thing.
Yes.
They're like, well, we can't leave these guys on the bus, and this place can't hold them. Oh, well, throw them all in.
We're gonna make it hold them. So yeah, they do that. He checks in with them. They show them like the path they're taking, and essentially just double checking that the roads are still good.
Yeah, don't want to make a wrong turn.
So the bus heads back out on the road. They get all that. The ranger even tells them like, hey, when you're coming back through, why don't you stop back in and blah blah blah. And then they're like, yeah, we'll stop back in and check in with you. We'll have a drink. So the night sets in. And the night settles in.
And the night settles in.
This fucking movie. So night settles in. They take off. They've still got to get to the other prison. They say they're trying to get to the highway. but you have to take back roads, and it's like, that's not how any of that would work. Like, this movie really had to stretch to get its plot. Because just saying, pretty sure from what we saw in, like, when they left the prison, there's like a city like maybe 10 miles, like you can see it in the background. So why the fuck they need to take a back road to find the highway that was literally right there is fucking beyond me.
Also, you don't take a back road through the woods to get to a highway. That's not how that works.
Nah, in West Virginia, this is how all our roads are built. Sorry, I was looking at the note and I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Now I remember. While this is going on, while they're at the ranger station, we had also cut back and we saw Three Finger resetting the trap we saw earlier with the razor wire. And Three Toe, we finally see Three Toe. And yeah, he's like 14, 15 years old in this one, so there's definitely been a time jump of some kind. But Three Fingers showing him the ropes of this is how you set out the trap, this is how you hide the trap so that they'll set it off, and yada yada. Is like a bonding moment for those two. So the bus, it's just going. And they're talking about... The two guards are just bullshitting back and forth, just like, so where is it you think you're going to go? Where are you transferring? Why do you want to It's the whole thing. It's like, you're really young. You seem like you got things all figured out, blah, blah, blah. But then an asshole behind them won't stop flashing his high beams at them. What could he possibly want? This douchebag in a truck. He just keeps flashing his fucking high beams.
Hey, check him.
Yeah, it's of course, it's Three Finger in the tow truck, the classic wrong turn tow truck, that he's also, like, he's using it more creatively than we'll see ever again in any of these movies, except maybe 5.
It makes sense. He's gone full Rambo at this point. He has lost everything.
Really fucking has.
Make the traps. This is the smartest he's ever been.
Honestly, yes. Because the retcon they make in the next movie to change this timeline, he gets dumber. But yeah, I don't ever see them use the tow truck for fucking anything until I think 5 they use it for a kill. And I'm like, you've only ever done this twice in all of these movies.
It's only been using for towing trucks.
But it's just like there's so much shit they could do with it, which is proven in this movie. Because truck comes into the front of bus and he's carrying a whole fucking string of barbed razor wire shit. And he just throws it off in front of the bus hits it, bus crashes, flies off the road, because, pop tires and getting caught up in wire. Mm-hmm. Which, again, only time you'll ever see them ever be this fucking creative to kill people. They never do anything like this ever again, and I don't fucking understand, because this is actually a really neat thing to do.
Nothing with that, but I can think of one really creative death. Coming in number 6.
There's that could be any number of kills in that movie. The movie's not good, but there are a lot of creative kills. But they're not
number
good.
6 is my favorite, just because of how stupid and wackadoo it is.
It really fucking is. That one loses itself so fast. So yeah, the bus crashes hard. We go over a hill. And Three Finger watches from up above, which the editing on this scene is another one of those, you see it and it hurts your brain, because 1 minute, when they're driving down the road, it's all forest. Like, you see all trees. Cut to when the bus went over the guardrail. It suddenly cuts to it's not trees everywhere. There's a grassy fucking, like, sloped hill, a guardrail, and then just a couple trees. And then they're on, like, this bottom road.
Oh no, the one hill!
Yeah, I was like, what? That doesn't look anything like what they were just driving on, like, at all. this is like, all right, we gotta shoot the driving scene on this road, but our next scene is way over here. It just needs to look like it might be the same. It's not.
Can we cut it looking like it? No. Well, fuck. They won't notice.
You know, and if you've watched this show before, you know I'll include a clip in here to explain it, but, like, it really does not look the same. It doesn't look like the same road at all. It just suddenly goes from forest to grassy areas that weren't fucking there before. So anyway, Three Fingers watching them get out of the bus. I have a problem with this, much like I always talk about when movies have a problem. He's watching them and they're getting out of the bus. No one fucking looks up the hill apparently because no one fucking notices Three Finger watching them. He's not hiding. His fucking truck is at the guardrail and he's just looking down. He's not fucking hiding.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know about you.
Rough.
But when I've been in places, first thing I do is look around.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you want to look around, you want to, like, see. It's Jesus Christ. So yeah, Three Fingers doing that. He somehow gets into some trees somewhere in the small patches because he just disappears apparently. Because they all get out of the bus. As they're getting out, they start getting shot at with arrows by Three Finger, who again apparently found a patch of trees that made him invisible, which if you see if you see the hill in the clip, there's nowhere for him to have been fucking hiding. It makes no sense.
And I really like it because it's at this moment where they realize that, oh, this isn't our people helping us.
Yes. It's like, oh, there's somebody will come help us. When I was like, no, I don't think it was our people that crashed the bus. Like, they wouldn't have done it this way. So yeah, they start getting
arrows.
Yeah, they start getting fucking shot. The bus blows up because, of course, it does. Because of course the bus blows up. It crashed. Immediately we get internal power conflicts with the convicts versus the like 2 fucking cards they have, which is such bad
they
math.
outnumber them.
Yeah, they are so outnumbered. So yeah, the inmates start arguing with them. The guards get control, kinda. Not fucking really. So Nate, he's our local boy cop. So he takes the lead, because he knows the area, which they immediately get jumped. Oh, right. So yeah, the convicts, they get control. They take the shotgun. They take all the guns. Like, basically, they get the one guard by hitting him in the face, and they take his shotgun because he's a fucking idiot and he's bad at his job. So the convicts immediately get all the power, taking his shotgun, his handgun, versus 2 other people with a handgun, but like, you're outnumbered regardless. So yeah, they make Nate lead the way because he talks about he's a local boy. They're like, you're gonna lead us through the woods, you know the area. As they do so, they run into Alex, who is the surviving girl from the couples we saw in the beginning.
Well,
She's
the one
still
who's been
alive
left
somehow.
for dead.
Yeah, she's still somehow alive, which I don't get how she's like. Look, I get she survived Three Finger in the opening, right? I don't buy that she's just been alive the last 24 hours with how we see the hillbillies hunt in the last 2 movies. I don't buy that she somehow lived.
Also, all the traps that have been set.
She didn't run into any traps. Three Finger and Three Toe somehow never found her, even though they literally track people their entire lives. That's all they fucking do.
All they do, all they know.
Yeah, it's not like Three Toe was at his house playing Nintendo and is like, sorry, Dad, I can't go hunting. Like, no, that's all they fucking do. Jesus. So anyway, yeah. They get attacked by Alex, and she immediately tries warning them about Three Finger, and they just think she's crazy. Because the fuck you mean there's hillbillies living in the hills? You're crazy. That's not real. You're just lost and confused.
Also, you would think with the local boy being local boy, he would know about the murderous hillbillies. Everyone knows about them.
Oh, I've got a note about that. Apparently only some people know about it, because according...
That's funny, because
to the
last movie, they were pretty sure that there were a bunch of murderous hillbillies.
Isn't it? But see, that's the second movie mentions things as well. Essentially, they're just rumors. Nothing has been proven. When we get to the sheriff, the ranger sheriff who they met earlier, him coming back, he has a line about this whole thing of that they're just a rumor unless you have personally experienced something. You don't know that they're actually real. So anyway, they're going through the woods. They're doing their thing. Nate's leading the way. While they're leading the way, Nate and Alex start having a conversation about, like, how can we get the better of these convicts? Because, like, clearly they're going to kill us. They're not going to let us just leave. And while they're doing so, the other guard hurt his leg in the crash, so they have to help him get through the woods, which becomes a problem here in a second. Because they find an old armored truck from like this, I think they say the 60s or 70s, something like that. It's an old armored truck. They bust it open and it has a shit ton of money in it. It's just somebody that, much to Anthony's point here, how the fuck does no one know the hillbillies are in the hills? Because this is an armored truck that went missing, and that doesn't just go missing and nobody comes looking for it.
A lot of money.
Yeah, especially filled with what looks like millions of dollars. Like, that's not something that went missing and nobody went looking for it. So, like, what the fuck? This is a plot point in this movie that's like, what the fuck do you mean? Somebody would have gone looking for that.
The problem was the director and the writer were like, how the fuck do we get these prisoners not to kill the guards immediately?
We gotta make them seem useful to them.
Yeah. Oh, they can only carry 2 bags of money at a time.
Yeah,
no? If my fat ass could carry 4 bags, these people can carry more than 4.
So yeah, the convicts start passing out the money, and they're like, we're gonna take it with us. Everybody carries one.
There's 2.
Except for the guard who had his injured leg. That turns into a whole argument, and then Chavez just shoots him because he can't stand, so he can't carry his own, so he just shoots him, and then carries his bags anyway. So what the fuck was the big deal about making people carry 2? You carried his shit anyway, you asshole. Oh.
Yeah, it's...
And that's Guard Walter. Sorry, Guard Walter, he's injured, they have like a whole back and forth, and then they just fucking shoots him.
Well, because they also gave him they found a gun in the armored truck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Guard Walter.
Yeah.
And he goes to shoot Chavez, and turns out he didn't check if the gun was loaded, which...
Yeah, because turns out Nate had checked out the cab of the truck, and yeah, very clearly the hillbillies had murdered whoever the hell was in there, because it's all covered in blood and shit. So, like, yeah, they probably shot all 6 shots in a fucking revolver when the hillbillies were coming at him with cleavers. I'm pretty sure they shot everything they had.
Yeah. Which, at this point, how long it's been abandoned, it was probably all 3 of them. It was probably a Sawtooth and the other one.
Oh, God, yeah, it'd be the originals. But also, you don't know how long that gun's been sitting. He could go to fire that, and fun fact, the bullets could have corroded from being subjected to the weather. Ergo, it could have misfired and just fucking killed him. Like, you don't know. You didn't even fucking check the damn thing.
Exactly.
Really irresponsible.
Here's a gun.
I'm a responsible gun owner. Take this gun that I just found in this truck. I haven't
let me give it
checked
to
it for
you.
anything.
The injured man who clearly is going to have issues.
Yeah, let me give it to the injured man. So in case it fails, it's not a big loss. So the group moves on. They take all the money. This is the part we were talking about that gives you what this movie's really about. Because at this point, Three Toe shows up.
Me.
Because he had set his own trap, and it fails, so then Three Toe jumps out from behind a tree and starts attacking them. Because he wants to make Three Finger proud. Yeah.
But this poor child...
It's really just Three Toe wants to make Three Finger proud because they're doing a hunt. He hasn't killed anyone on his own yet. So this is him being like, I can do it too. I can be just like you. Yeah, no, it doesn't go well at all. Chavez catches him and beats the ever-living shit out of him. Like, horribly beats the shit out of him.
Out of this
Also,
poor inbred child.
I thought all the hillbillies had, like, super strength. Why does Three Toe just get the shit kicked out of him? He doesn't even try to put up a fight. It's like he just gets the shit kicked out of him.
Well, you see, the problem is that Three Toe doesn't have his 5 toes. Therefore, he can't do the proper leverage to do the Taekwondo.
Fucking... Sometimes... He tries to do fucking roundhouse, falls immediately.
He tries to do a roundhouse. It switches past where the 2 toes would have been.
So yeah, they overpower him. And poor Three Toe. I honestly feel bad for Three Toe here.
Poor baby Splooge.
They take out a knife, and the words Chavez has are, "We're going to send a message to the other one." And then they cut away, and you don't really know what it is that they were going to do to him. In my mind, first seeing this, I had thought, like, oh, are they going to, like, cut him up a bit, like, make him real fucked up, and then Three Finger will find him and have to, like, deal with healing him up.
Fix his face. We're gonna give you 2 eye holes and a proper straight nose.
Well, you got a cleft lip here. Let me just fix that for you. Let me just cut that out of it.
You got extra skin on your ear. We can just remove it from there.
Anybody got a pin on you? We'll give them some tattoos. Really cover up the rest of it. I need a pin and a pen.
And that's how Jared Leto was born.
So yeah, they do that. They leave from there. Alex leads them back to where her canoes and her boats are, because they think.
Wait.
Trust me, I get it. Yeah, I had the same thought of like, why the fuck didn't you just go back to them? You clearly knew where they were.
You've been lost in the woods for at least a day, at least.
Yeah, it's been well, no, technically, because they have a missing report, so I think that means it's been at least 48 hours that they've been missing. Because
48 hours.
The cops have a full report.
You got one of 2 things. Either you knew where your canoe is, you needed to go back to it to escape, or you got lost in the woods. You can't have both ways,
yeah,
movie.
You really can't have both. She can't just magically be like, I remember where my wraps are. Bitch, why the fuck didn't you take him? Get the fuck out of there. So, what do you mean? So yeah, he takes him back to that. Nate pops him with the knife that they have, because he's just like, yeah, fuck you guys, like, you're convicts. I'm not gonna let you just escape. Which of course gets him promptly beat the shit out of him too, because you know, they're convicts for a reason. She probably shouldn't have done that, or been sneakier
Drug
about
cartel.
it. One of the two.
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh no, the hillbillies clearly destroyed this.
Yeah, like at some point, like what you could have done is you could have just put a little tiny cut in it so that it starts to lose air. So while they're bickering about who's going to be on which raft, it loses air, and you'd be like, I don't know, must have been defective. Instead of just just blatantly shanking it. Like, what did you think was going to happen, my guy?
Guys, look at distraction.
So Three Finger, cut over to Three Finger, this poor man. He finds Three Toe and Jesus Christ. I'm happy to see all the convicts die after this, because yeah, it's just Three Toe's head that's brutally mutilated on a stick behind his trap as a message. And let me tell you, Three Finger got the message, which is y'all gonna die now. That's the only message he got.
The thing is like, oh yeah, I'm being hunted by a crazy maniac. Let's make him mad at me.
Yeah, let's just...
He's already doing this for the love of fun of it. Let's make it personal.
For real, he had a smile on his face, and now you've just made him mad. Like,
you've gone from a deer to a target.
Which, honestly, I think you actually can see, like, honestly, the difference in how Three Finger is reacting. Because for the beginning of this movie, it is like he's like laughing, he's having fun, like killing them, having like messing with them.
Yeah, showing his boy how to hunt.
But after Three Toe dies, his tone changes for the rest of this movie to where like he goes out of his way to make elaborate traps to kill people. Like, it is not, I enjoy the hunt. It very much becomes, this is all revenge, because the traps he comes up with are just elaborate and cruel for no reason other than to be such.
Yeah. Beforehand, they were aggressive traps, but they killed you quick.
Yeah, nothing's gonna kill you quick anymore now. Now he's purposely going to make you suffer. Back at the sheriff's station, by the way, they talk about how they haven't seen the bus come back yet. So there's been another time skip. At some point, obviously they've been walking through the woods. But how long was the prison away from the ranger station to where we cut back and then being like, the bus hasn't come back yet? How much time has passed? Because it feels like they just left maybe a fucking hour ago. Like, what the fuck? It's still dark out. It's not even daytime. How far away was the prison to where they could just turn around immediately? Why is this movie?
Yeah, it's just... Yeah, it's a movie.
Anyway, so the inmates learn a rule, which is never fuck with mutant cannibals. Ever. Because... this is where I was saying, this is where Three Finger begins to fuck with them. Because he takes their money. He just like straight up, they get distracted with how do we get this shit off our ankles and our hands, like our wrists. We're all bound together. How can we get these off? And then out of nowhere, they start getting attacked by Three Finger, who's just like running behind trees, shooting arrows at them, throwing shit at them, and then them trying to be like, how do we deal with it? One dude gets his head just fucking clipped immediately because he hits a trap that has like a fucking axe thing that comes down. It just like takes his head. He's fucking dead. And then Three Finger tries to fight them. They manage to fight him off. Good for them. It's not going to fucking matter though. And if I remember correctly, they also get a blade. The blade that he had, which I think was his axe, that he was using. So now you're going to be asking, what do they do? Someone's dead in the chain gang. Like, now they're all stuck there. Fuck no, they're not. They brutally cut through the man's ankles and just say, fuck it, and take the chains with them. Also...
My favorite...
Oh, no, go ahead.
My favorite part about this is they didn't cut them off the legs. They just cut the legs off.
Here's the thing, folks. I get it's a B movie. It doesn't have the best budget. However, that's not how cutting through a leg works.
No, there's a bone.
Because now I remember, it's not even the axe, it's a Bowie knife. Which, yeah, it's a sharp knife, it's a big knife. But that's not how cutting through a shin bone. It's not like cutting through paper and then breaking celery. Like, that's not how that works. It's not that fucking easy.
Fun fact, here's how you cut off an armor leg. First off, you gotta peel the flesh back like a banana. You gotta make your 4 cuts, peel it back. Then you have to take a very heavy, hard object to hit the bone a few times to shatter it.
I'm pretty sure someone makes a comment about, like, what, have you never deboned a chicken? And I'm like, this is not the same. This is not the same. It's not like taking the wings off a chicken or the legs off a chicken. No, this is very different. Very different. Much more things holding that together than a cooked chicken. This is not the same.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's also raw.
Yeah.
Stuff is tight.
Hey, you know. So while that's going on, the sheriff heads out to go look for them because the bus has still not come back, and he's super concerned. So he heads off. The inmates, they find an old logging spot because we gotta bring this back to the Wrong Turn universe setting, and logging was a part of the woods, so we gotta go back to a logging spot.
Yeah, the paper mill.
Yeah, for the paper mill that we never see again. A paper mill that was only in one movie ever. The paper mill that they won't acknowledge again in the next movie, and instead come up with a different reason why they're fucking mutated. So, but yeah, it's the paper mill.
Paper mill.
Come on down to the Wrong Turn paper mill, where we make all your paper with all your essential wood fibers, totally not toxic and totally not making mutant hillbillies killing all our employees. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
totally not. Yeah.
From here, they also continue on a power struggle within the convicts because it's always a dick measuring contest.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Testosterone.
Yeah, sure. So Brandon, one of the inmates who will only become important by the end of this movie, and Nate, the guard local boy, discuss how the other inmates are probably just going to kill all of them because only 2 of them actually have a plan of what they're doing and where they're going, so it's likely the rest of them will just be killed when they decide to leave. So
No, you see, I killed the bus driver.
literally,
Dark Knight came out in the same year.
It did. 2008-ish, yeah.
Yeah.
2008, 2009, yeah. Oh, god damn it. Were these all just Joker's associates?
Look, I had a friend. He had a great idea in Gotham.
Could you imagine further up the road where Three Finger got him? The Joker's just waiting in a different truck, and he's just like, any minute now, any minute now.
I gotta wait for my guy.
I gotta get my boys out of prison.
They'll be here, I promise.
They'll be here. I promise you they will come. Hey, boss, that's me, that guy. It's been like 3 hours and I haven't seen a bus yet. They will be here.
Don't leave anyone behind.
Which is even funnier for a scene that comes up later when he's driving on the road. That would, for this context, it would mean that the Joker saw that happening and then didn't help, didn't do anything.
Hey, boss, was that one of the guys? No, my guys wouldn't mess with that.
That's
truck. They
creative.
know better than that.
Somebody get my notebook of tortures. That's creative. Jesus. So yeah, they're discussing all that. Three Finger is setting an extra spicy trap. We see him laying down a bunch of razor wire on the ground. And he's like mixing it all up. And he covers it all up with some leaves.
Yeah.
So here is where he does this trick fucking twice. These dumb motherfuckers fall for this twice in this fucking movie. So they see an empty truck, which for those of us who have seen Wrong Turn, it's the tow truck that's been in every movie. It's empty, it's alone. They're like, hey, you're one of the guys is a fucking car thief. They're like, go hijack it. And he makes the good point of, what if it's not empty? And they go, you're the only one who can carjack it. Go fucking do it. Yeah, too fucking bad for you.
What if it's not empty? What if I load a route? What if I load a shell?
What if I just shoot you now? It's like, okay, I guess I'll go get the truck.
Go point.
So, yeah, it's not fucking empty. He gets closer to the truck, and Three Finger immediately jumps up and hits the tow truck control. And we see that all the razor wire was purposely put onto, like, the tow hook. And it wraps this man up in a barbed wire, razor wire mixture fucking, like, harness.
Cocoon of death.
Yeah, it is really the cocoon of death. And then Three Finger just proceeds to drive off, laughing his head off. And everyone's like, what the hell just happened? And I'm like, you fell for it? I don't know what else to tell you.
The best part is, like, in their perspective, that probably happens in, like, 15 seconds at most. So he walks over there. You're like,
oh, yes. Now, cut back to Joker on the road in his truck, trying to figure out where the fuck everybody is, when suddenly he sees a tow truck flying down the road with what looks like a razor wire man dragging across the road.
Look.
Is that one of my guys?
God, I hope not. That tow truck driver doesn't seem like he's following the speed limit.
God, I hope that's not Billy. I need him. He was my car guy.
I don't know how to start a car. I don't even know how to change my own oil.
All right, so what guy do we need off the bus, boss? We need the guy who's a carjacker. He's really good at what he does. I can't hotwire a car, but he can. And just...
Oh, shit.
We've made up some real weird lore with these first three movies, folks. So this is set in the same universe as Batman. He just leaves these hillbillies alone, though.
Well, I need to go to the city now. Maybe I'll make it big there.
So after this happens, the inmates discuss just escaping in general, like how the fuck they're gonna get out of here, because clearly this man's hunting them. Took him this long to really piece that one together. So, the guard and Alex, they make a deal with Brandon, which is basically, hey, we're gonna try to escape, and Brandon, and if you could help us escape, that'd be great. We're getting close to the town. I assume they'll kill us when we get to the town, because then they'll meet their contact. That's when we'll make our escape. We'll just make a break when we're closer to town, because that makes sense. Chavez pulls Nate aside, and he's like, yeah, so you probably think I'm going to kill you when you get to the town, which is fair. Like, tell you what, I'm going to give you guys a head start when we get there to get free and clear, and then we go our way. All good. Of course, that's not how it's going to fucking happen, so that's why Nate immediately has a conversation with Alex. Of like, yeah, no, they're going to fucking kill us. Like, yeah, no, they're going to kill... Blatantly obvious they're going to kill us now.
Oh, we're going to let you go. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Chavez and Floyd, Floyd being a very large, bald, muscular, bearded man, who is the one that Chavez was originally making plans with, they get into a fight over the money itself, because, we need money. Chavez wins, because Chavez is just... Yeah, he's just the big dog. Alex and Nate get away. Chavez and Brandon take part of the money They take part of it. They like leave some of it, but they try to take as much of it as they can. They leave Floyd to die because they're just like, fuck that guy, because they're assholes. Chavez catches up with Nate and Alex after we get like a whole montage of them running through trying to hide in the woods. But eventually Chavez actually, he just randomly finds them, as I put it, because like I don't understand how the fuck you were able to find them, but because this is a very big outback woods, like it's not an easy way to find them.
No, not at all.
Brandon gets left with the money. Chavez goes out finding them. He finds them. He beats the hell out of Nate. Takes them back as hostages because they just suck at escaping. And Nate continues on. This is where we get the callback to Wrong Turn 1, and it makes no fucking sense. It makes absolutely no goddamn sense. He takes them up. He takes them up the mountain. Can you, off the top of your head, Anthony, do you know what location they are at?
Top of my head. Now I have to pretend like I didn't watch, like have a refresher of this movie. I don't know, Jared. Where would they be? As a callback to the first movie.
Oh well, you remember the watchtower that the three survivors went in the first movie?
You mean the thing that burnt down to the ground?
Yeah, they get up to a clearing. There's a bunch of burnt trees and the remains of a tower that are all burnt up. And he goes, yeah, there used to be a ranger tower here. I don't know what happened to it. Don't worry, there's other ones. We just have to keep going. First off, movie, go fuck yourself. Because that happened in the first Wrong Turn.
Which was like 20 years ago.
Yeah, like since then there was Wrong Turn 2, which does not have a specified amount of time between when the fuck that happened. To now this one, where Three Toes, like 14, 15 years old. So yeah, there's like a good 20 years you're saying has spanned since that burned down, which in your own timeline of shit of like when these movies came out doesn't even make sense. There hasn't been that much time that has passed.
No.
Unless you're gonna tell me that the hillbillies age faster, so Three Toe within the span of a year became a 14-year-old boy, which like holy fuck. But that's the only explanation I could have. I was about to say, if you try to look up, there's no timeline, because nobody fucking knows.
No, there's no official. No, it just says the way to watch the movies.
Yeah, what, one, or are they gonna count 4 as an actual prequel? Because I have a lot of issues with that.
Yeah.
A lot of issues there, because 5 and 6 don't connect to jack shit. 4 didn't really connect to jack shit either, so I have a lot of issues with that. But no, so yeah, 3, they pick us back to this location from the first movie, which it shouldn't look like that. Like, they're pretty sure there would be, like, plants that have started to regrow in the area. It wouldn't just be pitch black everything. Like, no.
Fun fact. Fire, very good for nature growing. Ash is very good
also,
plants grow.
Just a nitpick here, but I don't think forest fires just stop in like a 20 by 20 area. I think they just kind of go until they decide to stop. But this one, it only affected the immediate area.
Yeah, no, that's not how that works at all.
That's how it works here. So yeah, I saw that and I had to pause this movie, seeing that, and just be like, oh yeah, why the fuck are we referencing the first movie? The fucking second movie didn't even do that. Like, what the fuck? So yeah, they get to this watchtower. It's not there anymore. So the sheriff finally arrives. Because they continue on. The sheriff finally arrives, and he points the gun at everyone, and he's like, all right, we're taking back charge, because he has a dog with him. That's the reason he finds them. Ooh. So that one makes sense. So yeah, the sheriff helps Nate get back in control, and then he's talking to Alex about, like, who the hell are you? Why the hell are you? She brings up, we have to get out of here. He's going to kill us. He's been hunting us, and he's probably close. This is where the sheriff makes his comments, where he talks about, we thought they were dead. And that's where we get the clarification. This movie's the only one that ever references the first movie, because this is another reference to the first movie. Basically what this movie is saying, if you remember back, or even just go back watch our Wrong Turn 1 episode.
Yeah.
The ending of the first movie was that a sheriff showed up to the cabin after it was blown up, and then that person got killed, and they just ended it with a 3-finger like they always do. This movie implies that the sheriff here was that guy's partner, and that they went out and killed Sawtooth and
One Eye.
One Eye, thank you. But 3-finger was also there, so like, did they not find 3-finger and he escaped? I don't know. But basically he's implying that after that happened, they found the hillbillies and killed them, because he's all like, we thought they were dead, we haven't seen them, we didn't know they were still here. There used to be these people that lived in the hills that were mutated. They aren't like normal
eyes.
people. Yeah, he describes them, and yeah, that's my only thought, was like, so the fucking cop who got killed in the first one, this is the only reference we'll ever have of any of this, and none of it makes fucking sense. And yeah, it doesn't matter. 3-finger kills him, like just almost immediately kills him, and everyone is back on their own once again. Chavez takes everyone back to go get the fucking money, and it's gone. All the money they had's gone. And yeah, and it's like, oh no, where'd it go? Well, we'll find out that what happened is Floyd is still alive. He wasn't picked off at all. He's fucked up and worse for wear, but he's still alive. He takes the money to like a cliff, and he's piling it all together, and he's got a Molotov cocktail ready. And he tells Chavez, basically like, hey, you're either going to leave with me alive and we're going to split this fucking money, or I'll just burn it all here right now. There's a whole truck with more in it. I don't care. Like, you can die to go back and get more. I'll get satisfaction just burning it all. So they get into an argument. It doesn't work out because 3-finger says, hey, that's a great idea, and proceeds to shoot the Molotov in his hand and burn the money and him alive. So, yeah, which Chavez gets pissed because that's all his money going up in flames. So, yeah, Floyd just gets fucking burned alive with all the money. Chavez wants to go back to the truck and get more, which is a fucking stupid idea. 3-finger sets up another fucking truck trap. It's not even the same one. He just leaves the truck unattended again, and everyone immediately falls for it again. Like, you didn't just see what happened to you a couple hours ago. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Hey, Jared. Really quick, I just need to take a quick pause. Heather needs some medicine. All right.
So, well, Anthony tends to his wife real quick. Thank you for listening if you have been. If you go over to Patreon, if you're watching, listening to anything early, we appreciate you there. If you're confused at what the hell's going on in Wrong Turn 3, don't feel bad. They don't connect. None of these movies make an attempt to connect. Until now, with the third movie, by referencing shit in the first movie that doesn't make any fucking sense to be referenced. So don't worry. These movies don't make sense. They never will make sense. And I just want to clarify, I absolutely hate that they say 4 should be watched first, because 4 doesn't connect to jack shit. I'm sorry, but it fucking doesn't. It takes place in winter. It also retcons the backstory of the hillbillies from what you've learned. Because here's the thing. What they say in the 4th movie doesn't even match what they do in 5 and 6. So, like, these movies just don't make sense. But 3 is the last okay one for a bit like a B movie. This one's still kind of fun. They lose everything by the next one just because they just don't give a shit to have anything make fucking sense. What a fun time. What a great series. So great. The worst part is there's also a remake that we'll have to get to. So we got 1, 2, 3, and then we'll have 4, 5, 6, and then a remake. Fuck me.
Sorry about that. Wife needed some allergy pills, some nose spray, and some chapstick.
Oh, you're good. So yeah, they have another goddamn truck. Three Finger leaves it. Chavez essentially takes Alex and uses her as bait by throwing her towards the truck and calling out Three Finger, telling him like that's what he wants, blah blah blah. Because at first he tries reasoning with him about like does he want the money, but then he burns it all. So what does he want? Blah blah blah.
It's not about the money.
He really is the fucking Joker. Jesus Christ.
He's like, Joker's like, I gotta write that down.
Joker's watching from somewhere far away. He got intrigued by the fucking road rash death. That's creative. I need to do that with Batman. Yeah, Three Finger hops out and he steals Alex. He's real excited about that. And then to make sure that no one can do anything about it, he throws a Molotov and like seals them off with fire, drives off with Alex.
Which I do have to say, I find it really funny because there's been nothing saying that he specifically wanted Alex.
Yep, nope, not at all. Not once. I guess other than maybe she survived in the beginning, but even then, he's got bigger fish to fry than
Yeah, it's not like
that.
she's like, oh, he let me live and I escaped or anything like that. It's just, I know you want her. Sure.
That's what this whole thing has been about, you jackass. Yeah, so he grabs Alex and drives away. Brandon knocks out Chavez from behind and then gives his handgun to Nate, and he goes, hey, go do what you can, fuck it. And then his plan is to like, basically Brandon's gonna go back and check out the money situation and fuck Chavez. He can die because he's a piece of shit, but you want to save Alex, so take the gun, go do your thing. And they go their separate ways. Chavez comes to, and Three Finger, apparently he's super speedy. And he did what he did to Alex, which we'll get to after this. But him and Chavez get into a fight. And it's like a full-on fist fight. And Chavez thinks he can take him. And to be fair, he does take him pretty good in the beginning until, as it turns out, if you're fighting a man with an axe and like a meat hook and you have no weapons, you're probably going to lose because the guy with weapons is probably going to do something horrible to you.
The knife is called the Great Equalizer for a reason. I do like the idea where Three Fingers is fighting him, and it's like, and losing is like, wait, right, pointy things.
Yeah, it is pretty good one. Yeah, gets like, he just starts getting the shit kicked out of him. It's like, wait a minute, I don't fight fair. Like,
yeah, fuck this. What am I entertaining this prick?
I shot a naked woman in the back. I don't fight fair. I trapped a dude in razor wire and drove him across the road. I don't fight fair.
I clicked the button, apparently.
He's fucking up his camera, folks. So then we cut over to Alex. She wakes up. She's been bound in a bunch of wire by Three Finger back in his new cabin.
Yeah, because the other ones got blowed up.
Yeah, honestly, I don't understand why there's a different cabin. the third one, the second movie, they didn't blow that cabin up. Like, the dad person got blown up, but the cabin was fine. He just has a different fucking cabin again.
Too many bad memories.
Oh, fuck. And this one's laid out like the first movie's cabin, so, like, did he rebuild the fucking... these movies don't make sense. Don't try to reason with it, because you won't win. But yeah, she wakes up with that. Right before this happens, we had seen Officer Lane, the other officer who was at the ranger station. She also went out looking for the bus before the sheriff did his thing. She got captured at some point, which they don't show you how or when she got taken. They briefly show you she's on a road, and then they kind of cut away. I think they show you she got grabbed, but then they just cut away. You don't fucking see her again for like 30 minutes. But you do see her here, and it turns out she's in like a cat's cradle, barbed wire, and she's dying because, yeah.
Barbed wire. Bleed.
Which, also, why the fuck did he do that to her? She didn't do anything. She was just a random cop. But she got like the worst death of all of them. What the fuck?
Maybe she was to test. Maybe when like Three Fingers like, all right, how am I gonna do this fucking tow truck razor wire? Oh shit. You know what? I'm gonna try it on you. Here, step on that blanket.
I'll be honest with all of you. This cop is the only one in this entire movie that I honestly feel bad for when they show how she's dying, because she literally did fucking nothing. She was like the nicest person to everyone at the station. She was the first one to go out and try to look for them to help them when they didn't come back. And she gets the worst and most brutal way to die for no fucking reason.
Not a criminal or anything.
She did nothing wrong. Three Fingers is just an asshole.
Fuck you.
So yeah, that happens. Nate shows up at the cabin, doesn't find Three Finger or anything else going on, so he frees Alex. She wants to free, Officer Lane, but she's dead. She just immediately dies because, yeah, she's contorted beyond belief and stuck like a pig. Like, yeah. So yeah, Nate frees her. That's when we get the final fight with Three Finger. They're back and forth in the cabin. Alex and Nate kind of holding their own against him, fighting for the axe and just fist fighting. They whack him, like they always do. They do the old whack him in the chest with a fucking axe, and like, he's dead. Yeah, let's take his truck and leave. Yeah. So they do, and they escape, and everyone's happy. Everyone's so happy. But turns out Three Finger's not dead. Three Finger, he ends up on the back of the truck. He starts using his meat hook to try to hook them through the roof and through the windows and shit. He's trying to just get them. They crash for obvious reasons, because you have a fucking maniac trying to kill you. They crash. They think they're gonna die. Nate, right? Yeah, Nate gets out. He saves Alex, who is all fucked up. Like, they save each other from the thing. About to get murdered by Three Finger. Hook in that they're saved by Brandon, who decided for whatever fucking reason to come back to help them. Like, he didn't have to. He's a convict. He could have easily just left and been like, all right, well, that's their problem now. But no, he does come back. He helps them out, and they kill Three Finger by sending the meat hook through the bottom of his chin up through into the brain, and they just dead. Three Finger's dead, and that they all walk away happy. And he doesn't come back this time. He's just dead. That was a meat hook to the
canonical
brain.
End.
So this is where we have an issue. So Alex, she lives. She's the only one that lives. And here's why.
What do you mean? We still have Nate and Brandon.
So we get a time skip. This is, I'm going to say, probably a few months later. Investigation's been done. It's whatever. We see the armored truck open from the back, like, oh, somebody's getting into the truck. And it's Nate, who's like, yeah, you know, me and Brandon had that conversation about who would really want the money, but at the end of the day, no one knows it's here, so who else but a new job, new life cop to make a little extra cash? And he immediately gets shot in the back and dies. Yeah, and you're thinking, oh fuck, did the hillbillies, is there another hillbilly? Like, yeah, did Three Fingers survive? Brandon walks up from behind him with a bow and goes, yeah, you're a dumb cop. And he starts taking the money, and you're like, okay, this is an unneeded ending, but okay. Then it gets even worse, because then a hillbilly does show up and whacks Brandon in the head, ending the movie. I tried for the life of me to look for a definitive fucking answer. There is no definitive answer. Much like the timeline of these movies, it's either Three Finger who survived again, or it's an unnamed, no one knows who the hell it is hillbilly that kills him, and no one seems to have a definitive answer. Because they never made a sequel that followed up to this movie, so no one fucking knows who the hell that was.
No one knows. And you know what? Probably for the best.
It really is. As a betting man, I would say it's probably Three Finger who just somehow once again didn't die. He's been blown up. He's had a hole blown in his chest. I don't think a meat hook to the face was going to kill him either, but who knows?
It was purposely ambiguous for the sequel, so they could be like, maybe it was Three Finger.
Yeah.
Let's bring him back.
It was very much like the other two endings where they wanted to leave it for a sequel. This one they just left more ambiguous to, yeah, maybe they could make someone new. Who knows? But yeah, that is the end of Wrong Turn 3. Three Fingers Revenge, as some might call it. For all of you at home, for this show, this is the end of our Wrong Turn coverage for the time being. I wanted to get through the first 3 and get them done. 4, we'll be back at some point and start on the last half of this series. I just want to get out of the way now, because God only knows when I'll actually get around to doing those. 4 retcons everything that these movies do, and you're still supposed to watch it first, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. 4 can be okay, except that it's a completely new timeline, so just ignore everything you've seen before. It's set, I think, in like the 90s, which again just doesn't make fucking sense for what the time range of the first one. Anthony's already mentioned the 6th one is pretty bad. Honestly, my personal opinion, being someone who's seen all of these multiple times, don't ask me why I've watched all of them multiple times. I have. 5 is the absolute fucking worst that any of these have been, because its premise is great. It has a fun premise. It just doesn't do fucking anything with it. It is the most boring Wrong Turn movie I've ever tried to watch. And it sucks because it even has fucking Bradley, who plays Pinhead. Like, he's in that movie as their father. It's a fun concept. They just don't fucking do anything with it. It's so stupid.
It's so
But yeah, so that's Wrong Turn 3. That's everything. Don't go in the woods alone. Don't dump chemicals in the sewer. Don't go in the water. Don't bury your dead under the road. Don't prank your friends as a serial killer. Don't make a deal with a witch to bring back a demon to do things for you, which, unless you're Three Finger, in this case, you probably should have used a pumpkin head. Would have saved you a death, but I digress. Other than that, stay on, stay happy. I think by the time this one comes out, we'll have already done our 4th of July episode. Yeah, by the time this comes out. So I hope you enjoyed that. We did Uncle Sam from 1996. Hopefully you found enjoyment in that. I've never seen it. Once again, a movie that was Paul picked.
You're in for a treat.
Never seen it. So that's gonna be that. This will probably be my birthday episode, just for this show. It'll probably come out that week. So I'm old as fuck.
Happy birthday to you.
All anyone needs to know. Stay on, stay happy. We'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye. Fucking hate. I hate the last movies.